Have you ever set your alarm for 5 o'clock a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up hours later feeling guilty? You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll start, but tomorrow keeps running away. People say successful people wake up early. You've heard it. You've tried it. Maybe once, maybe 10 times. And every time you fall back into old habits. So you convince yourself, I'm not a morning person. But what if that belief is the very thing holding your life hostage? What if your future is decided before the sun rises? This is the story of a man who had nothing until 5 o'clock a.m. became his turning point. Thomas was 32 years old and invisible to the world. He worked nights as a security guard at a textile warehouse. Every evening at 8 o'clock p.m., he clocked in. Every morning at 6 o'clock a.m., exhausted and empty, he clocked out. His apartment was small and broken, a mattress on the floor, a flickering light, a fan that barely worked. His clothes were worn. His shoes had holes, but worse than poverty was the feeling of being trapped every morning. As Thomas walked home, the town was waking up. Families eating breakfast, children preparing for school, men in clean shirts heading to office jobs, and Thomas would think, is this my life forever? He worked hard, harder than most people. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. He was running fast on a road that led nowhere. By 7 o'clock a.m., he collapsed into bed. By 4 p.m., he woke up, living backwards, watching life move forward without him. One thought haunted him every day. There has to be another way. That way revealed itself on a cold November morning as Thomas left work. His phone rang. It was his sister. You need to come home. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. Hours later, Thomas stood beside his mother's bed in a small rural clinic. The doctor said exhaustion and stress. She needed medicine they couldn't afford. His mother held his hand and whispered, please, my son, don't waste your life like I did. Find a way. Promise me. That night, something inside Thomas broke. Not sadness, rage at being powerless. At 5 o'clock a.m., he stepped outside into the quiet dawn. The village was asleep. A few farmers were already working. Birds were singing. And in that moment, Thomas made a decision. No more. I will change my life, no matter what it costs. On the bus back to town, Thomas noticed a calm, well-dressed man reading peacefully. It was Mr. Chen, a successful businessman. And the time was only 6 o'clock and Thomas finally asked, why are you awake so early? Mr. Chen smiled. I wake at 4:30. I use the morning before the world wakes up. Thomas asked, but don't you need sleep? Mr. Chen replied, I sleep at 9 p.m. discipline. Then he looked at Thomas and said something that changed everything. You're awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world builds. That's why you're stuck. He leaned closer. The hours between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock a.m. are magic hours. That's where futures are built. Mr. Chen challenged him. Wake up at 5 o'clock a.m. Build skills in the first hour. Build your body and mind in the second. Do it for 90 days. No excuses. The first week was hell. Thomas hated the alarm. His body begged for sleep. His mind created excuses. But he remembered his mother. At 5 o'clock a.m., he studied Excel on his phone. At 6 o'clock a.m., he walked through quiet streets. Then he slept. Work nights, repeated, day after day, or on day 20. Something changed. He woke up before the alarm. By the second month, he had certificates, confidence, and energy. By the third month, he applied what he learned and created systems at work no one else could. On day 87, his supervisor called him into the office. Day shift, double salary. Accounting role. 3 months earlier, Thomas was a hopeless night guard. Now his life had changed, not by luck, not by talent, but by two focused hours every morning. 1 year later, Thomas had a stable job, a better home, and his mother by his side. He still woke up at 5 o'clock a.m. not because he had to, but because that's who he became. Success didn't arrive overnight. It arrived every morning. Here's the truth: your life won't change someday. It changes when you stop hitting snooze. Between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock a.m., the world is quiet, and that's when winners are built. So tonight, set your alarm. Your future is waiting on the other side of that clock. The question is simple: will you wake up, or will you snooze your life away?